February the 21st, 2020. Guys, you're looking at an article. This is coming from the Weather Channel, and it's saying something that we've been aware of quite a bit. Is across the nation, it's been a pretty mild winter for the most part on the average. We've had a few cold days. We're below freezing last night. It's going to be below freezing here tonight again. But overall, and if you have a fireplace or firewood or wood burner, and like I do in my case, you can tell by how quickly that stack goes down if you've been doing it long enough. But anyway, it's been mild, and we've had storms, and we had our first sunny day here, guys, and a week or so it seems like. Just been rain, rainy day after rainy night, just continuous. And I think this is the first video probably in a few days I've done where you don't hear the rain up on the metal roof. But that's about to change, and I want to talk about it. It says it took the entire winter, but an upcoming pattern change might finally bring more persistent cold air to the Midwest, South, and East as February ends and March begins. Now, it's not really a good time because it's cold and flu season. And you understand what I'm saying? So if you have, that going around, a lot of schools have been closed and things like that, off and on, then it's just going to prolong those flu effects. And this cold air has been over into Europe also. But guys, in Italy today, they closed 10 towns because of a rough flu some of you've heard about that's going around there. There was a spike in flu and cold cases, and so now 10 towns, 10 townships are closed down. It says dozens of cities east of the Mississippi River were reporting one of the 10 warmest winters to date from December 1st through February the 18th, according to the Southwest Regional Climate Center. That's because the polar vortex has been unusually strong for most of the season, keeping the Arctic air locked in across the polar regions rather than plunging southward into the U.S. and persisting. Now, we hope it doesn't persist very long into March because we're here in the South. We're not far from trying to get some early planting and things like that going on. It says, in fact, on Monday, the polar vortex was the strongest on record for February the 17th. Guys, we're in grand solar minimum, and our atmosphere is extremely cold because what's called a heliopause, a heliosphere, is like the Earth's magnetic shield. We're inside the magnetosphere. But the sun generates one too, and it encompasses all the planets. So we're in a shield of our planet, and also within the sun's emanating shield. And when it's weak, we get more radiation. We've seen that during the summer and the sunburns. But in the wintertime, we see greater cold. And there's records that they're keeping on that. And we're about to approach a very cold record for parts of the atmosphere. It says, in fact, again, Monday, the polar vortex was the strongest since February the 17th, and it was projected to maintain record strength into early March. So we're looking at the next 2 to 3 weeks that we know of. According to Simon Lee, a meteorologist and PhD student at the University of Reading in England, the record-strong polar vortex, locking the Arctic air into the far northern latitudes, any sustained cold air in the central and eastern U.S. must come from a change in the jet stream pattern. That's exactly what computer forecast models are predicting for late February into early March. So, guys, we kind of got away with a milder winter. Now, I know up in the north, and really the Arctic vortex has dipped up into the north west a couple of times. But again, it's been kind of light. Yesterday, for example, some of your first snow in many places in over a year. Saying the pattern's going to change, and it may drive more persistent cold air into the Midwest, South, and East during the last week of February and first week of March. Now, think about it, a northward bulge of the jet stream over the North Pacific Ocean. That's where you don't have cold air pushing far south, but that's going to allow it to dip over the U.S. That's cold in many places of the world. As a matter of fact, they're kind of starting to panic about it in places like Iran. Just think about that. But also, I want you to think about this. Just as they woke up in Italy today and 10 towns are shut down just to try to stop whatever cold or flu they got going around there, all the schools are closed. To further notice, they're telling people they're invited to stay inside, according to the billboards that are popping up. They are shutting down public gatherings. Okay? School, public gatherings, concerts, rallies, anything like that. Just overnight. Are you prepared for that? It's a heads up. Be safe.